Moving day should have been exciting. Fresh start, new land, wide open sky. But of course, when an HOA Karen lives next door, even moving boxes can turn into a federal case. After years in the city, I'd finally bought my dream property, a 180-acre ranch on the edge of a small HOA-controlled community. My house sat just beyond their border, completely private, clearly marked, and paid for in full. All I wanted was peace, quiet, and maybe a few cows. But to Karen, peace was a provocation. The day I arrived with my moving truck, she was already on the sidewalk, arms crossed, sunglasses perched like a hawk ready to strike. I didn't even have both feet out of the cab when she called out, "Excuse me, sir, you can't move those boxes in there." I looked at her, confused. "Into my house." She sniffed. "That's not your house. The previous owners moved out months ago. You're trespassing on HOA property." I smiled politely. "Ma'am, I just closed on this property yesterday. Here's the deed." She waved her hand dismissively. "Oh, those can be faked. We've had squatters before. I'm calling the police." And she did. I went back to unloading boxes, figuring she'd realize how ridiculous she sounded. But 10 minutes later, I saw flashing red and blue lights at the end of the driveway. 2 officers stepped out, hands resting on their belts. "Afternoon, sir. We got a report of a suspicious person entering a private residence." Karen stood behind them, smug as a cat with cream. "That's him. He broke in through the front." I pulled out my phone. "Officer, here's the closing document, the title, the wire transfer confirmation, and the real estate agent's contact." The officers looked it over, nodded, and then radioed dispatch. It took about 45 seconds before the truth came back. The property was indeed mine, registered under my name as of the previous day. One of the officers turned to Karen. "Ma'am, this man owns the house. You called 911 on a homeowner." Karen's mouth fell open. "That can't be. The HOA didn't approve this sale." He raised an eyebrow. "Ma'am, the HOA doesn't own or approve private real estate. You might want to check your bylaws." Karen started sputtering something about neighborhood standards and vetting residents. But the officers had heard enough. They gave her a verbal warning for filing a false report and wasting police resources. But it didn't stop there. When the cops left, she came marching back down my driveway. "You'll regret this," she hissed. "We'll find a reason to fine you." I just smiled. "You can't fine me, Karen. I'm not in your HOA." That made her freeze. "What?" "Yep," I said, pulling out the survey map. "See this line? My property starts exactly 3 feet past your jurisdiction. You've got no control over me." She went quiet for a moment, the realization sinking in, then turned and stormed off without another word. A week later, I got a letter from the HOA demanding I register as an adjacent property member and pay a $500 community maintenance contribution. My lawyer sent it back with a single sticky note attached. "Return to sender. Not a member. Never will be." And just to make sure there was no confusion, I put up a wooden sign by the road that said, "Private ranch property, no trespassing, no soliciting, no HOA drama allowed." The sheriff stopped by later, laughing. "Heard about your moving day fiasco," he said. "Karen's been real quiet since." "Good," I said, sipping my coffee. "I'm just getting settled. Can't have her thinking she runs the neighborhood." He grinned. "Oh, trust me. After last week, she knows exactly who runs what. Would you like me to continue with 3468, where Karen tries to arrest your wife for parking, not realizing she's the county sheriff?"